There's a few debates in life that just won't die. We're talking about stuff like, is the earth flat? The moon landed, did it exist? Or are dinosaurs real? But when it comes to finance, there's one very clear one. Do you overpay your mortgage or do you invest instead? Because one side will say debt-free for life, and the other says you're leaving money on the table. So what we need to break down in this video, which one's right and which one would I do? Because this isn't just theory, by the way. This is an emotional decision that could be made that could affect 20 to 30 years down the line for your finances. And as of right now, today, mortgage rates are climbing. Cost of living is increasing. So the question is, what should we do? What I need from you guys though is comments. I think we're going to get a lot of debate. So if you want to rage bait people and get some discussions going, do it. And also don't forget to like the video. That helps too. Now, as I've alluded to it, we have an issue where households face huge rises in defaults, where basically they're struggling to make their payments. And there has been more and more increases in mortgage levels. There's obviously been a big, massive churn and turnover from fixed rates from COVID levels over 5 to 6 years fixed, give or take, within that time period, into a much higher interest rate. But this is the thing, right? On the screen, key developments over April 2026. We are looking at, obviously, yes, a 3.75% held interest rate. That will change potentially in the next week or so. But this is the one. Trumpflation, as we say. We are seeing back into the 5 or even 6% levels almost interest rates, which is a problem. And that could spark the deciding point of this argument, because at the same time, yes, inflation, general costs, it's impacting people's ability to save, invest, and now pay their bloody mortgage, which is a freaking problem. But let's debate this. Let's talk about the two options you have. First option is overpay your mortgage. It is effectively a guaranteed return on your house, your bricks and mortar. It is the old school way of doing it. If you are older, and I know some of my subscribers are of the older generation, they may well be mortgage free anyways. This reduces your debt and it allows you to have more disposable income. It's obviously a psychological benefit because less debt, more security, you can do more with life without having to worry about those massive overheads in your expenses sheet. Let's be fair here. Now, the second option is quite clear. Invest your monies. Now, we're not talking about saving money, we're talking about investing money here. Because long term, yes, historically, the market will return between 7 and 8% annually, on average. But we know it's a bit more nuanced than that for obvious reasons. It won't be all plain sailing. They use volatility to add to that. So instead of locking your money into the house in terms of equity, you are letting your money compound because, yes, one of the biggest drawbacks of having a house, you are locked in it until you sell it. But this is where, yes, the debate gets a little bit interesting. Mathematically, investing wins. There's no qualms about that. I will showcase it on my calculator in a minute. It will win. I know it. But in reality, many people don't follow it through. Things happen in life. Things change. You might break a leg. You might not be able to work. Your child might get really ill and you might have to look after them. There's so many factors at play that might stop that rhythm of investing as well. But I think for me, and I'm going to reveal my bit of the cake here, I think you should do investing, but a tiny bit of overpayment of your mortgage. Because those small little overpayments that you will do will reduce the mortgage cliff, because when you have a mortgage to start off with, you are paying more interest versus the capital on the house. So that will hopefully reduce your years of paying it. Even if it is small, it will matter. Because what I find, and it really does get on my tits, I see people as content creators or whatever trying to be frugal. And what they do, they have like a 35-year term. I just cannot get my fat head around that. And what they'll do is they'll renew it and they'll go from like 35 years all the way down to 33 or whatever and renew it back over to 35 just to reduce the payments. You're actually paying more interest. Don't be a sausage with that, please. Because as I say, you are going to pay more interest. The higher the term, the more interest you're going to pay, the more debt you're going to have. That interest hurts. That small little repayment, and I will showcase it, you'll see it, will take off thousands and years without even you noticing that going out. Because if you're splitting up your investment money and taking a tiny bit out and putting it elsewhere, it's going to matter. And I will showcase an easier, obvious tip, and stick around, you'll like it, that will make it even easier for you. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go through my tool. This is all totally free for you to use. Now, I've put in my own details here just to give you a bit of an idea. So, thinking of a 20-year time period where we've still got 23 years on the mortgage left with an average return of 7%. Now, if you're going to overpay, say, 500 quid, give or take, you're going to look at this situation. Now, what I think you should be doing is having a little bit of an overpayment because it will reduce the interest but the time. As I say, you'll see this in a minute. The further you go down the tree of your mortgage term, you will start to notice that your capital is getting paid off more aggressive, mortgage cliff. So when we scroll down, it turns out, realistically, yes, if you do a 90-10 split, you will have a combined balance of that. Now, yes, don't get me wrong. If you went full balls deep, I want to invest. As I said, there's nuances. There's situations where it may not be as crusty as that. You will have more house equity if you overpay quicker. And obviously, if you just overpay, your house equity is going to be that. In terms of obviously, yes, house equity is brilliant. Great. Well done. Congratulations. Over a period of 20 years, that could be worth that much, obviously. The situation is, as I've alluded to it, it turns out if you invest, you are going to be wealthier. It turns out £233,000 wealthier. But with this split, there's not much of a difference. And that difference is important because what it actually does, you may shave off 4 or 5 years of your mortgage quite quickly, which is good. An extra 4 or 5 years on top of your, investment future wise is much better because I would rather invest, more heavily quicker, if that makes sense. So bear that in mind. So when we talk about going down in terms of the mortgage cliff, as you can see, without repayments, this is what it looks like. Basically, every single year, this is what it looks like. And then when you get to like year, give or take, where are we at? Year 6 and 7, you are paying more capital versus, say, your interest over the period of that time frame. And then all of a sudden, the interest just depletes. You want to try and remove as many years as you can at the bottom end. And again, you can see with overpayments, you can see very, very quickly how quickly this will change. And over the course of time, you will get rid of, basically, long story short, I will get rid of my mortgage by 13 years, give or take, or maybe 12 years, roughly. So that is based off my numbers, which is quite important. Now, that's the situation. I'm in a good position. I live up north. I literally live right on the border of Scotland. My houses up here are a lot cheaper than everywhere else. You might find that the growth rate might be different here. We are going through a bit of a purple patch. My house is actually worth over 310,000 now, and I've only been in it 2.5 years, give or take. So it is doing really, really well. But everyone's got a different situation, as I've said. Because as I say, with any investment calculator, you go down the numbers route and you're like, right, 5,300, yeah, dividend growth rate, we're going to go that a bit higher, we'll go with this. Yeah, cool, mate, well done. Cool, we've made money. But reality is, I would rather have more money, more disposable income, faster, a little bit faster, not massively faster, to do even more damage as my compounding kicks in, if that makes sense. And again, totally free to use, crack on, get on with it. But as I say, it's very much nuanced, isn't it? I want to talk about one more behaviorism because even if people are like, right, I'll overpay so much and then I'm going to invest the rest. Most people don't. Most people panic. So even if you're looking at my budget planner here, again, totally free to use, you can put in any numbers, find out all the information that you want, figure out your life. But as I say, any spare cash, you can put it into an investment or overpayments or both, obviously. The difference is people don't think of it as a tomorrow problem. They think of it as a today situation. So you got to look at that factor. I know that people won't invest if the market's a bit jittery. But I said at the start of the video, there's a little life hack that you can do to, even if you overpay slightly, it will majorly help. This app called Sprive. There's a link below. Use code MATE and you will get some free monies. Long story short, you can do roundups on your money and you can save on your mortgage payments. You can also shop, shoppings, and you can basically get a little reward, a kickback from, say, Tesco, for example, and it will go onto your mortgage every single month. Even if it's just small amounts, little baby amounts, little bits of auto saving, a couple of quid a day, whatever it may be, you will save money. That is the top and bottom of it. And what would you rather do? Save money and time and then invest for longer? I'd rather do that. And I think that is the most obvious way of doing it, even if it is low effort. And at the end of the day, right, it isn't about picking sides. It's about what works for you. It's about understanding both strategies needed for your advantage, because there will be periods where you do not want to invest. There will be periods where you do not want to overpay on your mortgage because the interest rates are pointless. Watch this video. This might help you with the world of ETFs and where to start and what to do. But yeah, consider your options.